Here's another thing about the future I'm thinking about. It's just my thinking here. And of course, do your own research on this. It's not financial advice by no means. One guy was asking me, I was sitting in a restaurant, sitting at the bar, and this guy asked me, said, it was a college student. A lot of college students where I live at came back in town this weekend. And I was sitting at the restaurant, the bar, and we're talking about just life in general. And he asked me a question. He said, do you know about Bitcoin? I said, yeah, I do know about Bitcoin. And he said, what do you think about it? And I said, it's an asset that you want to own, you know? I'm not saying put everything in there. And of course, it's not financial advice by no means. It's not financial advice. Do your own research on this. But what I've read on it and what I've done research on it and what I invested into it, I am invested into Bitcoin. And I think it's going to be a great asset, especially for the future. And I said by 2030, they said it should be worth $1 million by 2030. But of course, $1 million now is going to be totally different in the future. Because we know in the future what's going to happen in the future. The dollar is the value of it's coming down actually for $1. It won't buy, like $1 today doesn't buy you as much as $1 did back when I was in high school. So with that said, there is about more Bitcoin. Said, well, tell me what is about Bitcoin? I'm not getting it really. I said Bitcoin is sort of like a fitness influencer. It just started. They say they got 100 followers. And Bitcoin's like that was back that when it first started. It had like people were into it, but people thought it was a scam, this and that, it's not real. But then the influencer, let's say go back to the influencer. The influencer had 100 followers. Now they have, say 10,000 followers. Okay. People are like believing a little bit more into it. Some people are believing in it. Some people are like, oh, it's still a scam with this fitness influencer. Then guess what? Same thing with Bitcoin. They grew a little bit more. The value of Bitcoin went up. People started talking about a little bit here and there. People still didn't buy into it really too much. But then guess what happens now? If you go back to the fitness influence now has over 500,000 subscribers on all platforms, say YouTube, TikTok, all this. Guess what's happening now? People are believing it too. Corporations are reaching out to them now and everything. Bitcoin's like the same thing. Bitcoin now, industry leaders are now talking about it. They have ETFs on the Bitcoin now. BlackRock, you can buy the Bitcoin ETF if you don't want to get direct access to Bitcoin. There's so many ways you can get indirect access to Bitcoin if you want to. Or you can go to Coinbase or Uphold and other places out there and get Bitcoin. You can buy it directly and hold it most likely in a cold storage. You want to hold it. You don't want to hold on exchanges. I think, man. But do your own research, of course, on this. But I was breaking it down to him. He said, oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. And I said, what will it hurt just to own maybe 3% of your whole portfolio? Just own 3% of it, maybe 5% of your whole portfolio. Put some money into it. What's going to hurt? But anyways, it's some thought there about the future and all that. Of course, do your own research. But I do believe Bitcoin will be the future in America. Take care. Have a good day.